What's up, Pokemon trading card game fans? Welcome to episode 107 of Special Conditions, the TCG podcast where our love for competing and collecting collide. Special Conditions is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Tuttle, and I am joined by my co-host, Ken Pescator. What's good?
What's up, dude? Second podcast of the night. I'm fired up.
I know this is double podcast. Let's go.
We're rocking and rolling. Yes, I'm excited.
We're Ragnar rolling.
Ragnar-rolling. What's going on? I feel like I haven't talked to you in 30 seconds.
I feel like I haven't talked to you in almost a minute. That's how long it took my episode to upload to you.
No, man. I actually I'll tell a little story this week. It's TCG, but not Pokemon TCG related. Actually, not TCG, but trading card related. I had a really great opportunity at work, and I was able to open a box of the Zero Cool Jackass cards, which was amazing. I'm a huge Jackass fan, and Zero Cool is a new brand from Fanatics. Fanatics is like one of the largest sports memorabilia companies in the world, and they just purchased like Topps baseball cards. They're going to be buying like Panini. They have licenses for MLB, NBA, NASCAR, all this stuff. And they created this non-sports company called Zero Cool, which put out the Gary V cards. Now they put out Jackass. They do these limited drops in blind Dutch auctions. I think Pokemon could learn a lot from their direct-to-consumer business model. But they sent me 2 boxes at my job. They sent me 2 boxes of Jackass. I got to meet them when I was out in Vegas. I kind of schmoozed them up a little bit. They're like, all right, we want to give you 2 boxes. They sent them. We got to open it. And the cards,
that's amazing.
Yeah, the cards were absolutely phenomenal. So if you're into Jackass, definitely check it out. You know, they're all going to be secondary market at this point because the blind auction is done. But it's worth checking out if you're a Jackass fan because it's all behind the scenes stuff and some really cool art. Lots of parallels. So if you're a collector, it's just a lot of fun to chase cards.
My question is, when I was watching it, it looked like the cards were really like thick.
They're high grade, like very heavy cardstock. So, which is good and bad in my opinion. So the cards themselves were very, thick, but some of the parallel cards that had like the chrome on it, the chrome, I guess, shrunk a little. So some of the cards had like a pretty significant like convex arc to them. Like they needed to be put in like a top loader and kind of flattened out, which isn't a big deal.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're definitely heavy duty cards and very, very, a lot of them are just straight photography. So it's just cool to see like high res photos of, the Jackass people. I love that stuff. I have a very deep connection to that because I've been a fan for so long, but yeah, really, really good stuff. And I just think that eventually you might start seeing some of this sports and trading card stuff coming to Pokemon, like limited releases.
You might see new like movie cards.
No, but I'm saying like stamped, numbered release cards where, let's say,
yeah, well, I'm saying stuff like for the movies themselves.
Okay.
Like, based on movies and like art of Pokemon that aren't necessarily TCG like playable cards.
Yep. Okay, like Detective Pikachu, like the old Topps animated cards. Like,
yes,
yep.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
All right, well, how would you feel about this scenario, right? So let's say a set comes out, it has a Charizard, the base set
No, it has a Delibird.
It has a Delibird. The Delibird has a base form that just looks like a standard Delibird, but then there's multiple parallels available of that Delibird. So there'll be a blue parallel, a red parallel, a green parallel, but each of those parallels is a limited printed and stamped card. So the red, they might make 100 of. So it'll be 1 of 100, 2 of 100. The green one, they might make 50 of. The red one, they might make 1 of. So you can get a 1 of 1. So in all of the world, the population can only be one of those 1 of 1 cards. That's what it's like, a manufactured scarcity thing. So it does have a little bit of a weird vibe to it, but it makes the chase that much crazier. So I don't know how that
is so cool.
Yeah, but how would you be into that? Like, would you Like,
I would go after the Delibirds, yeah, for sure.
but think about it though, because then you can get a rare, but what if the rare was a parallel? And that's how they do it. They'll say, all right, in this hobby box, there's 10 packs with 10 cards each, but you're guaranteed to get 2 parallels or 2 inserts or 2 autographed cards or whatever. So I don't know. It increases the volume at which people want to buy, and then it makes those cards that much more rare, which increases the value. And it's definitely would be a culture clash with what we know of for the TCG from a collectible or financial investment perspective. So I know whenever there's a clash of those two worlds, things can get a little hairy with the culture and the community, but I don't know.
I think people would just want them in general because they're Pokemon. I don't think anybody really cares what it is as long as it's Pokemon.
Well, the limited stuff would have very low viability to the player, right? If they get a 1-of-1 Charizard, they're not going to play with that unless they want to like have the world's greatest flex. You know what? That would be the most boss flex. 1-of-1 Charizard.
Go to like a world championship and you're just like,
this is
all right,
using my 1-of-1
Charizard.
Yeah, like if it was like a PSA 10, it'd be worth like 5 figures, but you're sleeving it and like shuffling it the whole time.
You're just riffle shuffling.
So great. All right. Anyway, what do we got going on today's show?
All right. So on today's show, the card of the week this week, Shaymin V-Star, because we've talked about all the other V-Stars.
Well, we've actually talked about Shaymin before in Art of the Week, and we talked about the V-Star, but now we'll actually talk about its function.
Yeah, because I was confused at first. I was like, wait a minute, weren't we just talking about Shaymin? But we were, just the art. We're going to run through how this card is versatile and fun option to try out.
Yeah.
Because it is. We'll get into it. We'll rip into some Vivid Voltage thanks to Tish Smith. Kakuna is our card art of the week. Pretty stoked on that. We have a new Top Deck Academy video that's been released.
Yep.
It is highly... Yeah. Rosemary Kelly.
Yeah, I was about to say shout to Nekkra.
It's highly recommended for anyone new to the TCG because it goes over tons of strategies, basic gameplays. Awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good.
The Pokemon Illustrator contest has been narrowed down to 300 entries, and whoo, they look amazing.
All right, we obviously talk about cards every week, the art. We talk about illustrators, and we dig into it. Seeing some of the artwork in this contest, I'm like, yo, why are these people not official card artists? Like, the art is, I'm floored.
It's banging.
It is. It really is good. It really is good.
We'll get into the first topic, card of the week. Shaymin V-Star. Chilling out at a 250 hit points. Grass type, as per usual. 1 grass, 1 colorless. It does Revenge Blast, 120 damage. This attack does 40 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So if they take 5 prize cards, you're doing 320 damage.
Nice.
It does have an ability, Star Bloom. During your turn, you may heal 120 damage from each of your bench grass Pokemon.
I would imagine then that this would kind of one of the lists that I saw was a Leafeon list, right? So I think that this would do well with Leafeon or even Torterra, right? If you have grass Pokemon that are in your deck, you're going to want to run this, right?
Yes. Yeah, at least like a 1/1 of. It's more of a tech because it's a comeback card. The original Shaymin V for 1 grass does flap for 30, and then it has Revenge Blast for a colorless and a grass. Attack does 40 more damage for each prize card your opponent's taken. So even the base form
does kind of similar.
Is doing that same attack, just with less damage output.
But I like how this can help turn the tide in the late game, right? There's a lot of times
it's scary because if you don't go after the Shaymin V, and that could be a power play where they throw that down and you're like, well, I don't have enough to one shot anything, but if I don't take out that Shaymin V, they can drop down the Shaymin V and then use Star Bloom and then heal. So if they're a spread deck, they can be placing damage counters everywhere, but you could just drop Shaymin and be like, boom, heal everything.
I like that it's an ability for the V-Star power, so even though you can only use it or once per game, you could use that in conjunction with Revenge Blast. So you can do the attack, right? Do your, potentially have 320 hit points knockout power, and then also heal your bench grass Pokemon at the same time. So I think that that's really cool that it can have like serious offensive output and also, a defensive healing, and you could do them both in the same time because it's an ability and not a move.
Yeah. No. Now, see, there's so many great grass attackers right now, and with Grotle being able to just go search for any grass Pokemon, like that's such a good card. Because Torterra for a grass and a colorless does Evo Press. This attack does 50 damage for each of your evolution Pokemon in play. So you can have up to 6.
Okay, I'm looking at the Grotle now. Okay, yeah, that's pretty solid. That's sweet.
So it's a consistency card, and then you also have Cherrim with the Spring Bloom ability. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a grass energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. So essentially, you can't put any energies on the Shaymin.
Yeah, but you can
place them
Grotle.
on the Torterra. Yep.
Yeah, that's solid. I like that.
So you get those energies in hand, you can just quickly dump them.
All right, let's talk about art. What do you think of the artwork on this? We've talked about it in Art of the Week. Something about not like
it's the pink lemonade for me.
The background. I think that's what you called it last time, right? You're like, the background looks like pink lemonade.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this art. It looks amazing. Shaymin Skyform has always held a soft spot in my heart.
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. I like the landform, like 10 times better.
I know, but it's like the competitive scene for Pokemon. Shaymin Skyform has been the one that's put in the work and seen the most play.
I just picture it like flapping its ears and flying away. It's like, why is it Skyform?
It's like a unicorn. It just kind of just flies. It just goes.
Yeah, but they're not antlers. They're ears, right? Like they're soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, is like that little backwards ascot that it's wearing around its neck. Are those wings?
Flower. No, its wings are just. It just floats.
That's what I'm saying. Does it flap its ears? I don't get it. I don't know. Landform is cool. You know what would have been cool? If they did this card does not have an alternate art, but if they did an alternate art and just did the different form, that would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
That actually would be really cool.
Or they have the Skyform predominantly featured in the alternate art, but then also in the background, maybe they tuck in a landform or something like that. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't know. I just like cute Pokemon.
And the other art is the hyper rare, but nothing really changes there.
You know what? I like the way V-Star hyper rares look though, because how it normally has that V-Star Galaxy kind of thing going on in the background of that section of the card. It looks really cool in the rainbow. I just like the color palette that's the rainbow brings to the actual V-Star section, the V-Star power section of the card. It looks cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
And then we'll touch back on the Shaymin Vs. Again, it's the same 190 hit points versus the 250 for the V-Star.
Mm-hmm.
You always want the V-Star down.
Yeah. Oh, well, they already get the Star Bloom, so it's you need that ability.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I like about some of these other lists too, especially the Torterra list, because with the Cherubi, there's also Inteleon in there. All these Pokemon have abilities. So you could just be doing a lot passively, and you could be doing a lot without having to expend your attack. So if you've got Beedrill on your bench, if you've got the Cherrim or Cherubi on your bench, the Grotle on your bench, all these Pokemon not only can get the benefit of potentially being healed from the V-Star power, but also they can all contribute to active, progress in the match because they can all run their abilities. So I just think that's cool. I think abilities are good, unless your opponent is running something that shuts down the abilities.
Listen, I love the fact that Empoleon's in this list, because Empoleon just says it's got an ability, Emergency Surfacing. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile and you have no cards in your hand, you may put this Pokemon onto your bench. If you do, draw 3 cards, and it's an evolution Pokemon.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you're getting a free 50 damage and drawing 3 cards.
Yeah, and
that's such a sick.
I'll link to all the
ability.
lists here in the description. Also, this is from PokemonCard.io. It's a great site. They put some pretty creative lists up that aren't necessarily completely meta forward, but more creative. So I dig the site. It's really cool.
And then they also have the Beedrill, Elusive Master. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's the last card in your hand, you may play it onto your bench. If you do, draw 3 cards. So
this is a late game deck. It's cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I like it.
I love all these techs.
Yeah, I like it.
This is something I'm going to try out. That's so cool.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, and I shout to Cody in our community too, because he's like, we were talking about it, like how he typically plays off meta. And I don't know. I think that spice keeps things fresh, keeps things fun, and it allows you to play things that are unique. And that's like seeing the Ludicolo deck making waves in the in regionals.
No pun intended.
Yeah. But I just like it. I just think it's cool.
All right, so as far as Shaymin V goes, the normal art is the better art by far. It's got a lot of wind action movement, and it's kind of like looking at you with like a emo look, which is cool. It really is. It's kind of like a horror movie, Shaymin.
I miss it literally my landform. Give me landform, please.
No, it's really cool. And then you get to the full art, and you're like, wow, that's really lame.
Really?
It has
some lemonade in there. In the background.
No, it looks so bad. It looks like the background, gorgeous. The background is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
The actual Shaymin, terrible.
Yeah, I see.
I apologize to the artist, but its legs are so skinny. It just looks like it does not look very good. It just looks like thrown in there. Like, I just did a quick sketch and colored it in.
Quick, get me the raspberry lemonade. Stat.
It just doesn't look good. I would 10 times over rather have the regular Shaymin V.
Wow, interesting.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, well, I'll tell you what I'm sticking to is this sound.
Oh, yeah. These are packs. Courtesy of Tish Smith.
Yep, shout to Tish, our executive producer.
Thank you so much, Tish.
Yeah, Tish.
Hopefully I can pull some fire.
So yeah, the last 2 episodes, I've pulled some...
Listen, you went first last time, and then you pulled something good, so I'm going to go first this time.
All right, well, I'm going to spoil things and say I got a white code card.
No. I got a green code card. All right, code card is PYKKTYTVCKC29. Good luck, and hopefully I can pull at least some sort of something. Lightning Energy, Moo Cheese, Giraffarig, Bay, Clefairy, Pineco, Oshwa, Sandile, Talo, Reverse Hollow, Drone Rotom, and a regular rare Shedinja. I jumped the gun on that one.
All right. I'm excited. I have Fighting Energy, Delmise, Trumbeak, Sableye, Blitzel, Slugma, Beldum, Milcery, Wooper, Voltorb, and my rare is a Hollow Zapdos. I'll take it. I'll take it. But if you need any cards or supplies, head over to our affiliate link in the description to our TCG Player page, where you can support this show by picking up stuff on TCG Player, and it won't cost you an extra dime. TCGplayer.com has been supporting this show for probably about 2 years now, so if you ever need anything, definitely bookmark the link in our description, and anytime you shop, start there, and it'll help the show out, and you don't have to do anything extra. So shout to TCGplayer.com, and shout to Tish Smith for providing these packs. All right, Adam, you ready to get into some art?
Yes.
All right,
Let's art it up.
we got Kakuna, and this one is interesting. I'm old school, right?
Did you say Kakuna Matata?
Hakuna Matata. That's shout to pvpoke.com, which is a Pokemon Go resource. The guy who created that, his screen name back in the day was Kakuna Matata. Anyway, I have an affinity to Kanto Pokemon, to Gen 1. I'm old school. So whenever, there's an opportunity to squeeze a Kanto Pokemon in anywhere, I'm going to take it. So I did a randomizer. It came out as as Kakuna, and I was like, yes, solid. I'll take it. So I've got 4 examples here that kind of span the life of Kakuna cards, and we're going to start with the base set card just because it's classic. Kenji Kinabuchi is the artist. One of the original 3D artists that made cards for the base set. A lot of the base set had drawn cards, hand-drawn cards, but there was a few Pokemon cards that were done with 3D models. And this illustrator has done over 100 cards, 106 in total, and many of them were trainers, because if you notice in the base set, a lot of the trainer cards were 3D animation, 3D graphics.
Like Pokeflute.
Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. They all, they're just real cheesy looking 3D graphics. But this artist is also credited with illustrating all of the original energy cards in the base set. So think about the energy cards and how
that's a cool flex.
Yeah, it's a very cool flex, because even though that there's been energy cards released in every expansion since the base set, the design has pretty much stayed the same. So shout to Kinabuchi for setting the standard with energy cards and this really cool base set Kakuna. I dig it. And make sure you check out PokemonProfessor.com so you can see the blog, so you can see these cards and choose which one you like the best. But I really dig this next one. This next one is from Crimson Invasion. The illustrator's name is Miki Kudo. And I honestly couldn't find any info on this illustrator at all, besides that they started during the Generations expansion and they've done 35 cards. So I saw the cards that they've done, but I could not find any info on the artist. But what I liked about this card and why I chose it is because it shows 3 Kakuna in the card kind of hanging from vines in a tree. And if you think back to the Indigo League of the anime, the first time Ash interacts with Kakuna, they're all hanging from trees just like this. So it immediately brought me back to like that first time Ash encountered the Kakuna. And I was like, all right, this is cool.
The nostalgia.
Yeah, totally. And I don't know, the Kakuna just looks really cool in this card, and it just reminded me of the anime.
I always like it when you can see more than one of the Pokemon, because then you get different angles, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. You see the backside of the Kakuna, you see the
like a profile,
side, and then you see it face on.
Yep. And
head on.
And it pairs with the move that's on this card, Multiply, which says search your deck for up to 3 Kakunas to put them into your bench. So it's like you can get 3 Kakunas out of your deck, and there's 3 Kakunas in the art. So I definitely like that. Shout to Miki Kudo. I wish I had more info. Our next one, probably the most unique one out of all of these, is from Neo Discovery. The artist name is Yukiko Baba. And again, another artist with very, very limited information available online. I could not find anything. I mean, I was even like searching for the name on Facebook. I came across 3 profiles that were from Japan. I was like, is one of these the artist? Like, do I want to like start stalking someone on Facebook to see if I can get some information on the card art? But I didn't go that far. But super unique
Meanwhile,
design.
Everybody listening is like, yes, you should have done that.
I probably should have. But super unique design on this one. It almost looks like a Kakuna like hieroglyph, like a cave drawing or something. I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, like the way it's positioned and like depicted on here, it's like
alien.
If it were actually in the tree, it literally would be on the top of a tree. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It just
the only thing I can think of
like
is if it was evolving and you're seeing Kakuna like that's like the evolution color around it, but like because it's in the sun, it's like shadow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And
like Beedrill's gonna pop out.
It's very stylized, so it just has a very strong look to it. But
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
But
that one's
yeah,
my favorite.
but one of the cool things that I did like of this artist is if you search on the artist on Cerebi does a good job of like stacking all of the artwork from a specific artist next to each other, so you can see all the cards in succession, like in timeline. And looking at this artist's cards from they started with Neo Destiny, so starting with Neo Destiny or Neo Discovery actually. And looking at the progression of this artist, probably somewhere around like the Versus series, they started really developing their own style. And when you get to like Aquapolis and then Skyridge, it's like, all right, this artist really came into their own. And the style is just it's just rad. It's just freaking rad. It's like the Magikarp card looks amazing. There's a Chansey card that looks absolutely silly and ridiculous. It's really cool just seeing how this artist has changed over the years and developed like a really cool, consistent style throughout the cards that they've done. And the last card they did was in Time Gazer. So we're talking still pretty old. So classic artist. Wish there was more info that I could tell you, but definitely worth checking out the designs. Make sure you check out our blog so you can at least see this one. And Adam, I had to pick this next one. This is Kakuna from Team Up, and this artist is Yuki Mori, and I wouldn't even say this is an illustrator. This is a physical artist that specializes in clay, and I was
going to say, somebody had to have taken a picture of it.
Oh, there you go, yep. Oh, I wonder if the artist is the one that actually took the photo, but it's a absolutely adorable little clay Kakuna, like nested within like some tree bark. And it's very, very cool. I love cards that have practical art, like clay cards, yarn, papercraft. I love all that stuff. But this artist specializes in clay and has done 182 clay-based cards since Neo Discovery. It's so cool.
This is the artist you need to get in touch with.
I know. It's so cool. And again, if you look out in Cerebi's database and looking at all these incredible cards, I want every single one of these little clay characters that the artist has made. It's incredible. Incredible. I love all of it. Definitely worth looking up. So make sure you check out the blog, and I'll link to it so you can just see. This artist did during Delta Species, there was like that line of Dittos. So there was like
really? Yeah, okay.
Ditto Bulbasaur, Ditto Charmander, Mr. Mime, Pikachu, Squirtle, Charmander, the Geodude Ditto. I think Mythical Hitch hooked me up with the Geodude Delta Species card in Philly. And I just love all of these. And it's really cool seeing all these like practical art cards together. They've done a Delibird too from the EX Team Rocket set. So
yeah, I have that.
Very,
Graded.
very
It's
cool.
right behind me.
See, it's like, what I love about this segment and what I love about learning about the artists is a lot of times, I don't want to say you overlook the art, but you just don't take that extra step into looking at it. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I do have that card. So it's like, I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, yep, I have this card. I have this card. I was like, this is so cool. I never really put two and two together that this was the same artist doing all of these cards. But it's like you hear of artists doing 30, 50, 100 cards, but 182 cards. And since Neo Discovery, not even since the beginning, since Neo Discovery, 182 cards, and they've all been clay. So very, very cool. Yuki Mori is the artist.
I have never looked at my Delibird this close.
You see what I'm saying? Isn't it cool?
It looks like it's just in like clear rocks.
Maybe we should.
But it doesn't look like a clay figure though. It doesn't.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Maybe we should put that up on Instagram. Your Delibird.
Okay.
I think
I'm so confused.
I gotta find the Ditto. Well, there's a couple of them, including the Delibird, where the backgrounds are a little edited. So the backgrounds are kind of like have some lighting effects or things like that. And when you look at the Delibird, yeah, it looks like it's made out of graphics, you know what I mean? But it's actually clay. So cool. So cool. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. But all right, Adam, that's our Art of the Week segment. Definitely check out the blog on PokemonProfessor.com to take a look at these cards for yourself. But I'm ready to take a break. I need some LaCroix in my life right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink some Kool-Aid.
I can't believe, Adam is not kidding. He's really drinking Kool-Aid. Let's just appreciate that for a moment.
Oh yeah,
it's so funny. Like, are your lips all red after you're done drinking it, like a little kid?
No, I actually, it's actually just one of those like squirt bottles that is Kool-Aid, but I did a light squirt, you know, just to get the
I need
the
you to drink
flavor.
it from a wide mouth bottle so your upper lip turns completely red.
No.
All right, Adam. Well, let's take a break. We'll come back, and when we get back, we can talk about Top Deck Academy. We could talk about the Illustrator contest, and also we have this Lucario VSTAR. We should probably talk about that as well.
All right, everyone. We'll be back right after this. And we are back. Ken, how was your break?
Fully hydrated. I am fully hydrated and charged up.
All you listeners, hope you had a good break.
I hope you
it was
hydrated
probably
as well.
Yeah, took a sip of water.
They're like, quick, it's a break. 10 seconds. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Hydration.
Just some housekeeping real quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Check ours out over at patreon.com/PokemonProfessor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. That $1 is going to get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. All patrons are eligible to participate in our monthly Pokemon Go and TCGO prize tournaments. This one, it's pretty good. There's $100 on the line.
Yes, $100 TCGplayer.com gift card.
So I won my first match. So if I win, that just gets added to the next month's pool.
Yo, $150 prize next month if you win. That's pretty legit. That's pretty legit.
Well, I have to win.
I know.
First.
Yeah.
I'm playing Raichu with Mareep, so or Flaffy Dynamotor. All right. Anyways, registration's in the Discord. We hope to see you there. Want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our gym leaders, Absolutely Ryan, Grant, Jamal, JD Mojo Jojo, Magikarp Diem, Sue, TN Comics Wiz, Trainer Mystic, and Big Za Minus. And a huge thank you to our executive producer, Tish Smith. Thank you so much. Thank you to our newest patrons as well. Alex, Sophie, and Roundtable Chatot joined at the Discord tier. Clara and Gus for joining at the show supporter tier.
Thank you
all
so much. Thank you.
Make sure you check out PokemonProfessor.com for links to everywhere you can connect with us, grab some merch, and leave us reviews. We would greatly appreciate it.
Holla.
All right, let's get into this Top Deck Academy.
So, do you remember during Worlds last year, Pokemon put out an official podcast? Do you remember that? It was only like 3.
It was like 5
Yeah,
episodes.
I don't even think it was 5. But it was very cool because it had like huge budget, super great audio quality. You know, you could tell that there was like Pokemon money behind it. That's the same as Top Deck Academy. So I love when they do these videos. Andrew Mahone was featured in one, but this one is featuring Nekkra, Rosemary Kelly, who does some fantastic shoutcasting. She's done stuff with Overwatch and stuff too, so definitely dig her work. But this video particularly is important because it explains energy acceleration, it explains how deck engines work, and specifically in this one, it's talking about the Inteleon line. And Adam, you could probably speak to this better than I, but how important Inteleon is in the current meta.
So Inteleon is insane. So Inteleon, there's 2 of them. There's the Rapid Strike one, and then the one from Sword and Shield. So the one from Sword and Shield, it's just the oldest. Everyone should be familiar with. It's got shady dealings. Basically, when you evolve it onto your Drizzle, or just when it evolves, you can search your deck for 2 trainer cards and put them into your hand. Now, I said trainer, so that's a stadium, that's a tool, that is a supporter card, which is huge.
Yep.
So that goes get you boss's orders, gets you a quick ball to go grab a bench Pokemon. It's a game changer. And then you've got quick shooting on the Rapid Strike, which says once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Now that puts things in knockout range. If your opponent has something like a basic that they can't get the evolution for, that's like 3 snipes from this.
Yes.
And then you can just knock it out. So you can take extra prize cards, and your opponent can't really stop it.
But I've seen Inteleon just used so commonly in so many different styles of decks. And I think that's why it's important and it's worth learning about, especially if you're not, too familiar with the mechanics of deck engines and how decks are actually powered. This is a pretty simple concept behind the Inteleon line, but it's I'd probably think one of the more accessible decks to build is something that has Inteleon, because these aren't like V or VMAX cards, you know what I mean? There are a VMAX versions and stuff, but like these are just standard cards. They're probably, I don't even know what they cost on TCG Player, but I'd imagine they're pretty inexpensive.
So it's the Drizzle that's going to cost you the most.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Which is just an uncommon, but it's from Sword and Shield. And it's hard to get Sword and Shield cards. I think the Drizzles are like around $8, something like that. Let me check real quick. Hang on.
$4 right now.
Oh, okay.
$4 on TCG Player.
It was either 4 or 8. I knew it was something like that. But yeah.
Didn't I just send you a Sword and Shield ETB?
You did.
That's for your sealed collection, though, Adam. You're not allowed to open it.
I know. I haven't opened it.
Yeah. So the quick shooting, the Rapid Strike one from Chilling Reign is currently going for $3.74, and the even the Shiny Vault one, the one Shady Dealings, even the Shiny Vault one is only $16, and that's the shiny.
It's such a broken card. I mean,
what? Why do you say that?
It is. It's so broken because every deck you can play Sobble, and then it has the Call for Friends or Call for Family or whatever, and you go search for 3 more. And then you've got a whole bench full of them, and then you can Shady Dealings, Drizzle, Shady Dealings, Drizzle, Shady Dealings, Drizzle, Shady Dealings, Drizzle, and you can get them all back, and then you can use Scoop Up Net, put it back to your hand, get out whatever you need, and just start swinging.
You sound like my son. Anytime my son goes up against something in a game that's really good, he's like, this is so broken. It's like, it's just good. Can't you just be happy for Drizzle?
Well, listen, like, that's the thing that kills me is like, in my head, I'm like, the format is you play something with Inteleon. That is a whole deck in itself. So Inteleon plus something. And now you have Mew. And then you have Arceus. And then they just put Arceus with Inteleon because it's so good and so consistent. So it feels like a lot of the format is Inteleon.
Well, that's why I think that this video is so helpful, right? Because not only is it going to teach you the basics of, the engine, but currently in the meta, Inteleon is everywhere. It's just attached to so many other decks, like you're saying, and so many dominant decks that, especially if you're watching along with like regionals, it's a lot easier to understand what's going on because the pro players, they move so quickly and they're just kind of like touching this and moving that and cutting cards and doing all this stuff. So without knowing the mechanics behind how the deck operates, it can get a little intimidating and it can be very confusing. So once you learn how it works, and it's like, how is this, how are they doing bench damage right now? Like once you learn how all these cards work, it's a lot easier. And Rosemary Kelly does a phenomenal job. She absolutely crushes it with explaining how this all works. So huge.
Yes, much better than I did.
You did a really good job.
That's for sure.
No, but it's I just love it because it's super high production value, and you can actually see some stuff in TCG Live in this video as well. So you get a little.
Yeah,
TCGO.
I was going to say it is funny to note that she is using TCG Live.
Yo, what's the deal, dude? Is like I think, did you send me the video of Chip Ritchie's feelings on TCG Live, and a lot of people are speaking out, and they're just like, yo, I don't know what's going on here. Like, when is this going to actually be ready? I think Cody in the Discord call on Monday brought up a great point, and he said, look, all these new cards are so beautiful, the art is so amazing, and then when you play in TCG Live, you barely see the art. Like, it takes away from the feeling of playing in person, because when you're in person, you get to see these amazing pieces of little cardboard art, right? But in TCG Live, it's just, I don't want to say dumbed down, but it's just reduced. It's such a reduced.
It just feels really bland.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just want to play so bad, and I need it to be on my phone. Like, I don't know, man. It's, the phone is,
and the fact that, like, all these other card games have been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I know we've discussed this before, but it really just comes down to just scrap it and give us a quality game.
Well, what if they scrap mobile and say, hey, we're going to port this to Switch now, and we'll just put this on the Switch?
I would be fine with that because so many people are on their Switch.
Me too. I still want it to be on the phone, but like if the consolation prize was, all right, we're not going to do mobile, or we'll hold back mobile for 6 months, but we're going to, launch this on Switch this week.
Just give it to us on Switch. That's I mean, it's already Nintendo, like, just give it to us.
Yeah, but Switch, you're going into a landscape screen where that's
fine.
This is being designed. Well, I guess if you're playing TCG Live on a desktop, it's going to be in a landscape screen. So, give it to us on Switch.
100%. I want it on Switch. I'm okay with it not being on the phone if it's on Switch. Because that way here I can still connect to the internet wherever I am and play.
Yeah.
I don't need a laptop or anything fancy. I just need my Switch.
Indeed. All right, let me take this one. I'm going to talk about this Pokemon TCG Illustration Contest 2022. We kind of alluded to this, how phenomenal this artwork is. And this was pretty much picked up by every video game news outlet because it's making waves because people are really impressed by the art. But we're going to be talking about the article on Nintendo Wire. Shout to Jason and Lauren of Nintendo Wire, friends of the show. These, I guess, I don't know how many total entries they've had. Oh, it says here, over 10,000 entries in the first round, and they've cut it down to 300. And holy guacamole, Adam, some of these are like some of the best looking art I've seen, like, ever. Like, it's pretty amazing. But if you, they have a link that goes right to PTCGIC-CR, which is the actual contest page where you could see all 300 entries. And the way they did it was they limited the entries by a couple different Pokemon. So you have what is it? Arcanine, or is it Growlithe? Is it Growlithe or Arcanine? Arcanine. There's Cramorant. The Cramorant cards are so good. Galarian Rapidash is in there. Some of these are super, super stunning.
It is really cool to see Arcanine in it, like, in the snow, because it's not something that you think of.
Yeah.
And, like, so there's one by Row, R-O-U. Just it's just a happy dog. It's just a happy dog.
It's a happy dog. I love so many of these, and I don't know. It's just a different look, and I don't know if it's just because it's coming from fans and not people that actually are limited by the four walls of Pokemon, right? Like they just have the ability to be creative however they want. I don't know what it is, but they're just all so good. Like, they're all so good. If any of these won, I would be like, yep, that one deserves to win, because they're all so good. And some of the Cramorant ones are just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, my favorite Cramorant one is the Sake and Saruba. It's got, like, fall leaves and
look at that.
And it's resting, which you don't normally see. You normally see it
Cramoranting,
like, standing up and and being ridiculous.
Oh, these are so good, man. And it's like I've looked through this list 100 times, and every time I look at it,
every
I still
time you
get,
see something different. Yeah.
So good. Greninja, there's Scizor is in here. Of course, they had Pikachu, and that might be the best one to look at so you can see how unique some of these art styles are. Everyone has seen a zillion pictures of Pikachu, but even looking at all of these, it's like, yo, this is like a unique take on Pikachu. Like, look at the one, look at the Pikachu one from Mingo. It's like,
well, hang on, the Galarian Rapidash, no, from Nomichi. That one's beautiful.
Dude, they're all so good.
I'm trying to go in order here.
Oh yeah, the Nomichi one is nice.
And
wow.
Honestly, the Gomashiwu Greninja is really nice. I like the Nibiru right behind it, or right underneath it. Scissor, oh my god. I'm not even gonna, like, all the scissors are so good. I'm not even gonna fight with those ones. They're all
Look
good.
at the Osare one with the bug catcher. That one is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's like a bug catcher like that's trying to catch the Scizor with like a butterfly net, and it's like running away. It's so good. It's so good.
That's awesome. In
it's
the
so amazing. So good. Yeah, but look at the Pikachu, right? Like, so
all right, which one was I looking for?
So the one that it's like fluorescence, the Mingo. So you see, like, you're so used to Pikachu. So when you see it out of its element and you see it's just like a unique, different take that you wouldn't expect to see.
Oh, wow. Yep.
In a released Pokemon card. Same thing with the Bulbasaur. Like, it's just so good. It's fantastic viewing. It's eye candy. The whole thing is eye candy. So make sure you just
the artsy Theo.
Dude, they're all good. They're all
it's like apple picking.
Good. Like, some of the Charizards are phenomenal. There's one that reminds me of so I'm a huge fan of Don Bluth animation. That was like American Tail, and like there's one in here that just reminds me of the Singe from Dragon's Lair, the old like animated arcade game. It's just a really cool look. It's the Omar Rizek version of Charizard. He just looks totally different. It's just like a totally unique, different take.
Okay, that's like epic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't expect
But see, I like the TNT one because that feels like it's Ash's Charizard, just being like lazy and just he's yawning in the grass.
If we were to start over and scroll all the way to the top of the page, we could scroll down again and just call out different artists, just like we're doing now. That's how good they are.
Nomichi for the Bulbasaur.
Also good.
Wow, just explosion of like colors. Like, come on.
It's all really awesome. It's worth your time. 100%.
I implore you to click the link in the description and check these out.
Look at the Sakuma Charizard. Oh my gosh, that's like a tattoo. So good. They're all so amazing. Definitely check it out. I can't wait to follow this. I cannot wait to see like how do you bring, like, think about 10,000 down to 300, right? How do you bring this down further? Like, every single one is so good.
I think you just go like, take away one from each a week.
Oof. I don't want that job. I don't want that job at all. So good. Definitely check it out though. Very, very cool. All right. Last topic of the week, Lucario VSTAR Premium Collection. You've said I haven't been to stores, so I've been a little bit of a shut-in lately. So
I will say it has been so nice to be able to walk into GameStop and see so much product.
Like boxed product?
Like boxed product.
I haven't seen it.
They have more celebrations. They had the Pikachu like V Union. They had Lucario V-Star boxes. They had the Morpeko V Union card as well. Yep, they had that box. They had the new like starter lunchbox for the Hisuian region. They had ETBs from Darkness Ablaze. They had ETBs from Shining Fates.
Oh, wow.
They had so many blister packs.
Yeah, I love Shining Fates.
And then they had Shining Fates Pikachu V boxes too that they had just gotten in.
I got to check because it's probably been a week and a half, 2 weeks or so since I've been in the big box store, but if I stop at a Walmart or stop at a Target, even if I'm not going in for Pokemon cards, like I'm compelled, I have to do at least like the walk by, like, oh, let me take a look. And I haven't seen anything in my area. So
I will say that the stuff at the box stores typically goes a lot faster from what I've seen, because people, you're going there grocery shopping. So you're in the building already. So like, why would you go out of your way to a GameStop type of deal? So I understand that. But GameStop is still selling their packs for $3.99, and Walmart has increased them to like $4.49. So,
wow. All right. Well, this Lucario
GameStop still has the better deal.
Yeah, the Lucario VSTAR Premium Collection. I do like when they put these together because it kind of has a lot of add-ons. So this comes
the pin, the card,
but they're etched cards
coin.
too, and it's and there's a jumbo, and the jumbo is etched also. Etched meaning like the textured cards. So that's really cool. I imagine, because you the two visible boosters are Brilliant Stars. What do you think those other four are? Chilling Reign, Rebel Clash.
I believe it's like Battle Styles or something like that.
Fusion Strike.
Fusion Strike, Battle Styles, maybe. I don't know.
I love the artwork though in this Lucario V-Star. It's super cool.
Yeah, the V looks really nice.
And the V that it comes with is the full art V. So that's solid.
And like the V-Star, I know, like, I mean, obviously we can talk about it in another show, but for 3 energies, you're doing Fighting Knuckle, 120. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a V, this attack does 120 more, so that's 240 for 3 energies. I can do a lot more with Torterra. For 2 energies, 1 Fighting, 1 Colorless, Aura Star, 70 damage times. This attack does 70 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon.
Ooh, that's nice.
So that's cool, but that relies on your opponent. And if they see you drop the V, they can easily play around that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'll just play with 2 energies. I'll play with 3.
Your
max output is 210.
Let me retreat and get rid of all my energies attached to this Pokemon.
Oh, that's so bad.
They have in this balloon in their hand or whatever, and they don't use it. They just manually retreat.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, this card is you can play around it. The thing is like if you played Galarian Zapdos V, that says, oh, if your opponent has a V Pokemon, it reduces its attack cost by 1.
Right.
So it's a 3 cost, but basically you get it down to just the fighting, and then you attack for 1 energy, which is like yeah, you could play around that, but you can also play that down, attach an energy, next turn attach another energy, and then do its attack, which knocks out anything linked to fighting. Yeah. So this is just kind of like a fan favorite card to put into a box.
Yeah, no, I like it. Artwork is super cool, and I dig that it comes with a pin, it comes with a cool coin, it comes with the jumbo. Like my son loves the jumbo cards. I have the binder for them, but I don't necessarily go after them or anything. So it's like I could buy this box, I could give my son the coin, the pin, the jumbo, he'll be stoked on it. I'll take the boosters and Lucario. You know what I mean? Like, I just like when they do this because there's a little bit of something for everybody. And what is it? Is it a $30 box or 40 because of the premium?
I believe it's 40.
40 because of the premium.
40, yeah.
It's not bad.
Now, the regular Lucario V for 2 energies does 50 with Crushing Punch and then discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's okay, but it's not fantastic.
Yeah. Well, what I've learned too is anytime a Pokemon needs 3 energy, it's a little bit of a stretch with how fast things move.
Especially in this format, yeah. Because even the normal Lucario V is much better. For 1 energy, you do 40 and then 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon.
Yeah, yep. All right, awesome. We'll definitely check that out. I'm gonna have to hit up some box stores this weekend just to see what the market looks like in my area. I mean, I live in a metro area, so the stuff is just always sold out. I'm sure if I were to drive, an hour and a half north to the sticks, I'd be able to go to a Walmart and find cards. It's just so competitive in this area. I don't even necessarily think it's the scalpers. It's just the collectors. There's so many of us in this area that the product just goes super fast. But Adam, before we wrap up, I got a couple bits of miscellaneous news I just wanted to touch on. The Time Gazer and Space Juggler kind of like dual Japanese set. This is what's going to kind of fill out Astral Radiance. They've released most of the cards you can see now. PokeBeach.com put them up. And I don't know how they're doing it, man, but the art just keeps getting better and better with every set. One, they need to hire some of those Illustrator contest artists, but the art on these cards looks absolutely stunning. Some of these alt arts might be the best I've ever seen, like ever. And that's saying a lot. And this is a dual set. If you look at the Origin Palkia V alt art, this card blew my mind. It looks like an MC Escher painting. It's so awesome. I love it so much. It's just very cool.
I was just looking at the Sneasel V.
The Hisuian Sneasel? Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. But even the trainer cards are all stunning. The Cleavor, because now I guess Astral Radiance is really like the Hisuian introduction to the TCG. So you're starting to get all the new forms, all the new Pokemon. It's really cool. I definitely dig it. Just awesome. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Weirdier.
Let's see what else. Sao Paulo regionals were last week. Arceus VSTAR back on top. That was pretty cool. Mew Genesect took second, but Jolteon and Inteleon took third. So again,
see, it's
a little spice.
Inteleon. Something with Inteleon.
Also interesting. And this has not happened, didn't happen in Liverpool and didn't happen in Salt Lake City. Whimsicott Arceus deck in 8th place. Rapid Strike Urshifu took 9th. Ice Rider Calyrex took 10th. So
wow, what a diverse meta.
That's what I'm saying. And they're accessible. These cards are not expensive, especially when we're talking about like Malamar last week. Like you can build decks. I remember when I was trying to build my last physical deck in the previous meta, $100, $150. It was a stretch. And, by the time I finally completed the deck, it was rotation time because I was just like I was not willing to like dish out big bucks for like boss's orders or something, It's like now you have these decks that have cards that have been released as promos multiple times and just very accessible. And it's very cool seeing diversity come about. And, the shoutcasters for Liverpool, I don't know, they were talking and they were like, what ends up happening is you have these dominant meta decks, and just because people are getting so many eyeballs on them, that allows them to get creative and find exploits that they can get around. And that's what happened to Mew.
Yep, exactly.
And, Arceus is still been dominant, but it's cool to see these other decks hanging in there in top 10. Anything that makes top 8 is wicked. You know what I mean? So seeing Jolteon, in top 3 is amazing. But I just love that Rapid Strike Urshifu is still doing stuff and Ice Rider Calyrex still doing stuff. So very, very cool. These are like league battle decks based. You know what I mean? So it's like, It's just very cool to see that because it shows that with a little creativity and some good mechanics, you can compete with the big dogs without having to build something wild. So very, very cool. But that's all I got.
All right. That sounds like a show.
That's definitely a show. You know what? I lied. I've got one quick thing I want to do, and this will be super quick. I got to pull it up on my phone really quick. We got an email, and it's a short one. Let me pull it up here from...
All right. We got an email. Thank you for writing in.
This is from Mucha. It says, Dear hosts, I really enjoy your great show. I was never interested in Pokemon franchise, but my daughter, who's 7, bought some Pokemon cards home, and I looked for resources on learning how to play them. I found your podcast on Spotify, gave it 5 stars, woohoo, thank you, and listened to all the episodes over the holidays. This was quite an emotional journey to listen to Adam and Josh and then Ken struggle in the post-COVID TCG world. But I learned a ton now. I'm a Pokemon master in the eyes of my daughter. So cool. And he goes on to talk about other things about how he used to play Magic the Gathering. Just really, really cool. it's amazing that people find our show and go back and listen through the catalog. So Mucha, thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, that's
really
so
awesome. I just love to hear that, and he's just about to get to the 100th episode. So Bartosz is the name here. So phenomenal. Just thank you so much for writing in.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening to the catalog. That makes me feel absolutely awesome. And I absolutely love it. And we got actually one more email. This one from Matthew Lowry says, new listener, and I'm loving the show. Was just wondering what the new intro song is and if I can find it somewhere. Keep up the good work. Team Delibird for life.
Yes, let's go.
So in our podcast descriptions, you can get links to all the songs that we use for all the Pokemon Professor podcasts. So in our description, the intro song here that we use for Special Conditions is provided by Game Chops. Game Chops is a video game remix record label. All the music is fully licensed. That's why I really like it. But there was an amazing album that Game Chops put together called Ultra Ball, and it's all Pokemon remixes. And the intro song is called Trapped in a Pokeball by DJ Cutman. DJ Cutman is actually the creator of Game Chops and the artist Balthasar. So it's called Trapped in a Pokeball. It's on the Ultra Ball record. Links to it are in our description. But if you go to GameChops.com/UltraBall, you can check out the record and pick it up. So good stuff. Thank you so much for writing in. Adam, now that's completely it.
All right. If you want to be like those awesome trainers and write in, you can email us info@specialconditionstcg.com. Leave us a voicemail, send us a text or a picture, 732-835-8639. And yeah, that's all you got.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's it.
All right. Remember, trainers, if you're affected by a special condition, don't forget to use a full heal.